Holzman's on.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Yes, it's still morning for 3 minutes.
It is for 3 minutes.
I'm always on the side.
Okay.
This is on my side, but as long as I'm under the TSB, I haven't decided to change it yet. Figure out which ring first one. Right. It's so sad.
Commissioner Coleman here?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw her door closed. Is Commissioner Roop on the phone? Commissioner Roop on the phone?
We have an echo.
Weird.
That was a really weird echo. Somebody's got the string.
Good morning, everyone. Morning, Mr. Chairman.
Someone's got what?
The internet stream, it has that much of a delay.
That much of a delay.
Everybody online?
I think we're waiting on Commissioner Roop. Has Commissioner Roop joined us?
Just heard something on the phone.
Commissioner Roop's here.
All right, Commissioner, we will go in just a second when Commissioner Coleman returns to the room. All right, good?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All the commissioners are now assembled, and we will go ahead and call this agenda meeting to order. So I ask those participating on the phone, please mute your phone unless you need to speak. Today we have 6 tariffs and new orders, 1 case discussion, a closed litigation item at the end. So we will go right into tariffs and new orders. First up is file number EO 2022-0040 and EO 2022-0193. This is in the matter of the petition of Empire District Electric Company, DBA Liberty, to obtain a financing order that authorizes the issuance of securitized utility tariff bonds for qualified extraordinary costs. This amended order updates the amount of energy transition costs related to the retirement of the Asbury plant. So this is amending our previous order with accurate numbers. So with that, I recommend that we support this order version 2. Commissioner Roop?
I agree. I am in support.
All right. Commissioner Coleman?
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman?
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
And I do as well.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 2, say aye.
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 That order is approved 5-0.
Mr. Chairman.
It has been pointed out that I forgot the minutes, so we will have to approve those minutes from the September 14th agenda. You all have seen those. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from September 14th? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from the September 14th agenda, say aye.
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 Those minutes are approved 5-0. Thank you, Commissioner Coleman and Judge Woodruff, for bringing that to my attention. Next up in tariffs and new orders, file number ER 2022-0129 and ER 2022-0130. This is in the matter of Evergy Metro, Inc., DBA Evergy Missouri Metro's request for authority to implement a general rate increase for electric service. This order approves 4 separate stipulations and agreements that were filed in the case that resolve a large portion of the contested issues. So we will issue a report and order at a later date to address the remaining contested issues, but I recommend we approve this order version 1 for the 4 STIPs that were filed. So with that, Commissioner Roop?
I am in support of approving the STIPs.
Commissioner Coleman?
I am in support also.
Commissioner Holzman?
I support this order.
And Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
And I'm also in support.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1, say aye.
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 That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number EO 2022-0201 and EO 2022-0202. This is in the matter of Evergy Metro, Inc., DBA Evergy Missouri Metro's 2022 Integrated Resource Plan Annual Filing Update. So this order finds that no further action of the Commission is necessary, and this closes the file. So with that, I recommend we approve the order version 1. Commissioner Roop?
I am in support of this order as well.
Commissioner Coleman?
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman?
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
And I do as well.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1, say aye.
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 That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number EO 2022-0285 and EO 2022-0287. This is in the matter of Evergy Metro, Inc., DBA Evergy Missouri Metro's submission of its 2021 Renewable Energy Standard Compliance Report. So Evergy Metro filed its report and associated plan in accordance with the Commission's rules and asked for a waiver of the provision requiring it to provide certain meter information regarding the RECs it purchases. Staff filed a recommendation to accept the plan and report as having no deficiencies, and to grant the limited waiver of the Commission's rule as requested. OPC filed a request for determination, but we find that this is not the proper type of case to address that issue. So this order grants the waiver and finds that no further action beyond accepting the report and order is required at this time. So I recommend we approve this order version 1. Commissioner Root,
I will be supporting this order.
Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman,
I support the order.
and Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
And I'm also in support.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1 say aye.
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 That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number EO 2022-0286 and EO 2022-0288. This is in the matter of Evergy Missouri West, Inc., DBA Evergy Missouri West, submission of its 2021 Renewable Energy Standard Compliance Report. So, similar to the last one, Evergy West filed its report and associated plan. Staff filed a recommendation to accept the plan, saying that there were no deficiencies and to grant the limited waiver of the Commission's rules. OPC asked for the same thing, but again, as in the last one, we find this is not the proper type of case to address that issue. So this order grants the waiver and finds that no further action beyond accepting the report and plan is required. So with that, I recommend we approve this order version 1. Commissioner Root,
I am in support.
Commissioner Goldman,
I'm in support also.
Commissioner Holzman,
I support the order.
and Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
And I do as well.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1 say aye.
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 That order is approved 5-0. Final order today is file number EO 2023-0039 -0051, and I'm sorry.
There's 15 separate cases.
Oh, that's right. Et cetera, for 15 cases. This is in the matter of the application of Shannon Barth for the change of electric supplier from the city of Butler to Osage Valley Electric Cooperative. So customers identifying themselves as current electric customers of the city of Butler filed 15 separate actions asking to change their electric service provider to Osage Valley Co-op. OPC filed a motion to consolidate all 15 cases with a certificate of service only going to the council of record, not the unrepresented customers. Staff filed a response to OPC's motion, which states that the cases involve related questions of law and fact, but still does not indicate that the parties were in fact served notice. So this order denies OPC's motion and states that there's no proof that the applicants were given proper notice because no counsel has entered an appearance on behalf of those applicants. So with that, I recommend we approve this order version 2. Commissioner Root,
I am in support.
Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman,
I support the order.
and Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
And I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 2 say aye.
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 That order is approved 5-0. So that concludes reports and orders. We do have a case discussion today in file number EF 2022-0155. This is Judge Clark on the Evergy Missouri West securitization case.
Thank you, Chairman. At a prior agenda, the commission rejected a stipulation and agreement put forth by some of the parties to resolve this case, and that leaves the issues remaining for the commission's determination. This memo sets out those issues for the commission's determination. Now, not all of the issues need to be determined or fully determined. For example, issue 1, the amount of qualified extraordinary costs does not need to be determined because the ultimate answer to that will be a composite of other issues that are decided by the commission in this memorandum.
Okay. So with that, issue 1 obviously is disposed of for the moment. So we will go to 1A. What amount of cost, if any, that Evergy Missouri West is seeking to securitize would they recover through customary rate making? I think that using the customary rate making mechanism, Evergy would have recovered 95% of those costs. Commissioner Root, do you agree?
I agree.
Commissioner Coleman?
I'm in agreement.
Commissioner Holzman?
I agree.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I agree.
Brings us to 1B, which is what would the appropriate method of customary rate making have been? And I think if these costs were not securitized, they would have been deferred to an AAO or flowed through the FAC. Commissioner Root,
I am in agreement.
Commissioner Coleman,
As am I.
Commissioner Holzman,
I concur.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer,
I also agree.
and C, I think, is the same answer because it would be the exact same process. So we'll go on to D. What is the appropriate adjustment related to non-fuel operations and maintenance costs? I would recommend that these costs should be removed from the final securitized amount as the parties agreed to in their stipulation. Commissioner Root,
I am in agreement as well.
Commissioner Coleman,
As am I.
Commissioner Holzman,
I agree.
and Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I also agree.
All right. Should they recover through securitized bonds include more than 95% of the fuel and purchase power costs? This is where I am going to predict some disagreement. As in the previous case, while I acknowledge that using traditional rate-making methods, Evergy would have only recovered 95% of the costs, I also recognize that the purpose of the securitization statute is to provide a benefit versus traditional rate-making. And I don't see where that statute requires the company to only recover the amount through securitization that it would have recovered using traditional rate-making methods. So I read the statute as only considering the traditional rate-making methodology to the extent that we need to consider whether securitization provides a benefit. With that said, securitization in this case is also applied in a unique situation, which is a disaster. 95.5 that we use in the FAC is for normal fuel recovery and operations costs. In a disaster, I would like the company focused on getting service restored, not focused on financial considerations such as what an extra 5% or not. So I would personally recommend 100% recovery through securitization. Commissioner Root?
I'm going to stick with the 95-5 split. Just, really just for the incentive that it provides and to keep it consistent. So I'm going to disagree with your position and go with the staff and OPC.
Okay. Commissioner Coleman?
I agree with staff and OPC.
Okay. Commissioner Holzman?
Mr. Chairman, I think you make a compelling point, but I'm going to go with staff and OPC on the customary and to stay consistent with what decision we had made for Liberty. But I would be open to looking at that a little bit deeper from the points that you've made in your position. Thank you.
All right. Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you made some good points there. However, I'm going to go with staff and OPC on this one.
All right. So that brings us to, I'm going to look at F, G, H, and I, and J all together, simply because those are various issues that OPC raised that I do not agree with. So I would be no on F, G, H, I, and J. So if any commissioner would like to pull any of those out and have a discussion, we can do that. But that's what I'm going to recommend. No on F, G, H, I, and J. Commissioner Root?
Yeah, I am also a no on those issues. So I agree with their position.
Okay. Commissioner Coleman?
I'm in agreement also.
Okay. Commissioner Holzman?
I support the chairman's position.
And Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
Yes, I'm in agreement with your position.
Okay. All right, that brings us to K. What is the appropriate carrying cost for Winter Storm Uri? I believe that long-term debt rate, as it was approved in Evergy's last rate case, is the appropriate amount to be applied here. Commissioner Root?
Yes, I agree. Long-term debt rate, staff position.
Commissioner Coleman?
As do I.
Commissioner Holzman?
Me too. Agree.
And Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
I agree.
All right, so, L, what is the appropriate adjustment to the amount of Winter Storm Uri costs to be recovered through securitized bonds, if any, regarding the administration of the special incremental load tariff? So I think staff made a good argument here, but I do not believe this is the appropriate case to address the issue. I also think that there's insufficient evidence in the record of what the actual disallowance should be if staff is correct that there is a discrepancy. So I don't think that this is the appropriate case to decide that issue. Commissioner Root?
I agree. I would be taking Evergy's position in this instance.
Okay.
As would I.
All right. Commissioner Holzman?
I agree with you, Mr. Chairman.
And Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
I'm also in agreement.
All right, so that gets us to M. What is the appropriate discount rate or rate used to calculate the net present value of Winter Storm Uri costs that would be recovered through customary rate making? I think the long-term debt rate we approved for Evergy is also appropriate here. Commissioner Root?
I agree. Long-term debt rate.
Commissioner Coleman?
I'm in agreement.
Commissioner Holzman?
I agree long term.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
Yes, I agree.
All right, that gets us to question 2. What is the estimated upfront and ongoing financing costs associated with securitizing qualified extraordinary costs associated with Winter Storm Uri? I think the approximate costs are around $6 million, but it seems like there's still some discrepancy as to how much over $6 million we expect. So what I would recommend is $6 million, not to exceed $8 million. I think that gives us an ample cushion to make sure we have accurate costs, but still a protection in there on the top end. So that would be my suggestion. Commissioner Root?
I agree with your suggestion, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Coleman?
I support the staff's position.
Okay. Commissioner Holzman?
I agree.
And Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
I also agree.
All right, so A, what is the appropriate return on investment and treatment of earnings in the capital subaccount? I think Evergy's current weighted average cost of capital is the appropriate rate to apply here, which I think is around 8.9%. But I do think anything over 8.9 can be refunded to customers as staff has requested. Commissioner Root?
I also agree with the 8.9.
Commissioner Coleman?
I agree also.
Commissioner Holzman?
I agree.
And Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
I agree.
All right, B, is the issuance of multiple series appropriate? I think we determined in Liberty that it's proper to issue these in one issuance, so I would keep that the same here in this case. Commissioner Root?
I agree with your position, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Coleman?
I'm in agreement.
Commissioner Holzman?
I agree.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
As do I.
All right, 3, would the issuance of securitized utility tariff bonds and the imposition of securitized utility tariff charges provide quantifiable net present value benefits to customers as compared to the recovery that would be incurred absent the issuance of bonds? I believe there is a benefit. Evergy and staff have both stated that there is, so I agree with their position. Commissioner Root?
I agree with their position as well.
Commissioner Coleman?
I do also.
Commissioner Holzman?
Yes, I agree.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
I concur.
All right, and then A, what is the appropriate discount rate to use to calculate the net present value? I believe, again here, in using Evergy's approved long-term debt rate. Commissioner Root?
I'm in agreement.
Commissioner Coleman?
As am I.
Commissioner Holzman?
Long-term debt rate.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
Yes, I agree.
All right. B, what is the appropriate term and coupon rate for securitized costs? I'm going to go with 15 years with the potential to extend up to 17, I believe as requested was by the company for final legal maturity, I believe is the term they use. So I'm going to go with that. Commissioner Root?
I'm in agreement as well.
Commissioner Coleman,
as am I.
Commissioner Holzman,
I agree.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
And I agree.
Question 4, how should the securitized utility tariff charge be allocated? I think that staff's proposal to use the loss-adjusted energy sales is the proper way to do this. Commissioner Root,
I am in agreement.
Commissioner Coleman,
I agree with staff's position.
Commissioner Holzman,
I agree.
and Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
As do I.
All right, that gets us to, I think 5, 6, and 7 are all some version of what specific language to include on, I think those could probably all be handled. Do you think those can be handled at the same time?
I do.
Okay, so 5, 6, and 7, I'm going to support staff's position for the language to be included there, which should closely mirror what we've done in the previous securitization case. Commissioner Root,
I agree as well.
Commissioner Coleman,
I agree.
Commissioner Holzman,
I agree.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I agree.
All right. And then the final question is, should the commission grant a waiver under Section 10A1 of the affiliate transaction rule? I do believe that it's reasonable to do the waivers presented to complete this. So, Commissioner Root,
In agreement.
Commissioner Coleman,
I agree.
Commissioner Holzman,
I know you're going to be shocked by this, but I also agree.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I agree.
All right, that gets us to the end. So I think, Judge, you have everything you need?
I do. Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you. So with that, as I mentioned, we have a closed litigation item to discuss. So before we do that, we will go through scheduling, and then we will do the close and adjourn immediately upon close. So upcoming scheduling, Wednesday, September 28th, we have agenda at 10:15 a.m. Thursday, September 29th, there's a local public hearing in NextEra Energy Transmission, SWEA 2022-0234. That's NextEra's application for a certificate of convenience and necessity for a 345 kV transmission line and associated facilities in Barton and Jasper counties. That will be at 6 p.m. via WebEx only with Judge Hatcher. Friday, September 30th, we have an evidentiary hearing in Evergy, Missouri West, ER 2023-0011. That's their authority to implement rate adjustments required by 20 CSR 4240-20.090 sub 8, and the company's approved fuel and purchase power cost recovery mechanism. That will be at 8:30 a.m. in room 310 with Judge Sire. Monday, October 3rd, evidentiary hearing in Empire, EO 2022-0226. That's Jerry L. Countryman's application for a change of electric supplier. That will be at 9 a.m. in room 310 with Judge Sire. Tuesday, October 4th, we have a rulemaking hearing. That's in GX 2022-0340. That is a proposed amendment of the Commission's rules relating to natural gas safety. That will be at 10 a.m. in room 310 with Judge Hatcher. Wednesday, October 5th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Wednesday, October 10th, that can't be Wednesday. October 10th is holiday. Monday, October 10th. Wednesday, October 12th, we have agenda at 10:15 a.m. We have a local public hearing that day also in GR 2022-0179. That's Spire's request for a general rate increase for natural gas service. That will be at 6 p.m. at the St. Louis Community College with Judge Clark. Thursday, October 13th, we have a local public hearing in, again, that same case, Spire's rate case. That will be at noon via WebEx only with Judge Clark. Tuesday, October 18th, we have a local public hearing, again in that case. That will be 6 p.m. In Kansas City at the Greg Kleiss Community Center. That will be with Judge Clark. Wednesday, October 19th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Monday, October 24th through Tuesday, October 25th, we have an evidentiary hearing and WM 2022-0186. That's Foxfire Utility Company's application to transfer certain water and sewer assets in Stone County to Ozark Clean Water Company. That will be at 9 a.m. in room 310 with Judge Keeling. So that gets us out through about the end of October. Any comments, questions, or requests regarding scheduling? All right, hearing none, as mentioned, we do need to discuss a closed item today, so I will make a motion to go into closed session to discuss litigation. Is there a second?
I second it, Coleman.
Seconded by Commissioner Coleman. Is there any discussion on the motion to go into closed session for the discussion of litigation? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion for closed session, say aye.
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 That motion is approved 5-0. We will clear the room. I'm not sure if you will need to call back or not, or if we will just, we'll wait a minute to make sure we've got the line clear of everybody we don't know. And then we will adjourn immediately upon the conclusion